Starting in the name of Allah, the most merciful, mighty and gracious to all. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is Adil Sabir here with the basic course of Human Resource Management. Today I'm going to start the first lecture of Human Resource Management, and the book which I'm going to refer you, that is DeCenzo and Robbins, 8th edition. In this lecture, according to the course outline, we will discuss, or we will cover, inshallah, the 3 topics. First, it will be that what is human resource management. Second, the values of human resource management, the importance of human resource management. And the third, the challenges, or why the human resource management is so important. There are some other recommended books as well, which you can see in the second slide by the heading of reference books. The book is Human Resource and Personnel Management, Williams B. Werthel, J.R. Kit Davis, 5th edition. Otherwise, Human Resource Management by Gary Dessler, 9th edition. And not the least, that is the Management of Human Resources by David J. Serrington. Now, in this lecture, or in this course of Human Resource Management, what basically we will discuss? What is the roadmap of Human Resource Management? Slightly, I have given you a roadmap that what we are going to discuss in this course. This can be human resource management and its dynamic environment. It simply means that the environmental factors which having some impact on the practices of the human resources in the organizational era, like for example globalization, technology, workforce diversity, how these various factors having impact over your human resource management. After a long discussion, we will move toward the next roadmap, that is staffing function. In the very simple words, staffing function, simply we can say the hiring process. How companies do the hiring process, how companies do the job analysis process, how companies basically do the various jobs studies. After that, we will move toward the recruitment function. Recruitment is simply the process of attracting the people toward the organization. What sorts of recruitment organization basically has, what types of recruitment organization uses, the internal recruitment organization uses, the external recruitment. All the things we will discuss in the, inshallah, upcoming lectures in detail. Then after that, training and development. How to provide learning to the people, to the new incumbents, how to develop their skills, how to make ready them for the higher level opportunities. After that, performance appraisal, simply a process to evaluate the performances of the employees. How to study the employees' benchmarks, how to appraise them. And upon completion of the appraisal process, then there is another term, that is reward and compensation. How to reward them, how to manage their salaries, how to upgrade their salaries, what are the different types of compensations. After that, we will discuss the next, that is career development. That how the people they do their career development, how organizations having their career development programs, what are the different types of career developments, how organizations provide help to the employees that they can grow in their careers. In this slide, we are going to discuss that what are the various topics which we have covered today in this lecture. These topics are: what is human resource management, importance of human resource management, and the functions of human resource management. let's start from the first, that what is human resource management. Before starting the human resource management, let me give you an idea about the MM theory. That is our first point, MM theory. That what is the lobby behind the MM theory. Let me give you a very brief discussion about the MM theory. Initially, management philosophers, they argued that organizational success depends upon three factors. It means 3 M's. The first M, money, the second M, material, and the third M, that was machine. Later on, it was discovered that these 3 M's, money, material, and machines, are not fully contributed. There must be another M as well. So upon practice, they introduce a new M called manpower. What happened with the term manpower? The term was taken in a discrimination sense, in gender discrimination, because the term manpower, it was pinpointing to the gender factor only. So the management philosophers transformed this term manpower into the human factor, or the word human, because the term human comprises both the gender, both the sexes, male and female. So the word human came into being. With proper researches, it is to be identified that human has a variety of competencies like skills, knowledge, abilities, and willpower as well. And these competencies can be utilized in a well manner. So human can be a resource as well. After that, they realize that there should be a proper system, a management to handle the human as a resource. Such is termed as human resource management. Now, the next, no universal definition. What does it mean, no universal definition? It is simply stated that no universal definition. It simply stated that human resource management has the standard definition, but all the definitions are not universal in nature. It simply means that management philosophers, they are working in the different cultures, different contexts, and whatever they are working in any of the contexts, they are explaining the human resource management phenomena according to that concept. Like the matlab ta sho chida kam practitioners di HR di chi kam ham context ke bole che har yo country zan la yo context ta kam yo context ke che kam management philosophers di kar ki no agar human resource management definition che kam de aga hum same agi context pe mutabik zeta, therefore their definition is not universal. It is standardized. It doesn't mean that the definition is not standard. Like for example, the people who are practicing their human resource management practices in Pakistan, or the people who are definitely they are doing their practices in India, there will be a contextual difference between the definitions. The definitions clear argued in India, that will be definitely different clear from the definitions argued in Pakistan. So therefore the definitions are universal in nature, not universal in nature, but are standard in nature. Human resource management, the terms was initially introduced in the USA, and initially that was interchangeably used with the personnel management. The next point, that is, what is HRM all about? Now let's start this point. A basic concept of management states that manager works in organizations, and organizations has 3 basic components. These are people, purpose, and structure. Human resource is the study of activities regarding people working in an organization. It is a managerial function that tries to match an organization's needs to the skills and abilities of its employees. Let's see what is meant by these three key terms: human, resource, and management. Human, simply a Homo sapiens, like social animal, while resource, human, physical, financial, technical, informational, etc. And the simple management, that is a managerial function of planning, organizing, leading, controlling of organizations accomplish goals, efficiency and effective. Now, what HRM is basically all about? HRM is about managing the most valuable assets of an organization, the people working there. Human resource management is both an academic theory and a business practice that address the theoretical and practical techniques of managing a workforce. Now, a question here is that why do we need human resource management? The need of the human resource management is just because humans are different from machines. Each individual is different from the other. They individually and collectively work for the achievement of organizational goals. Humans can produce more than machines if properly motivated. So, we need to study the human resource management as a separate subject. Let's start some few definitions of human resource management. There are various universal definitions. The first definition, according to the strategic point of view, that human resource management is a distinctive approach, a different strategy to employment management which seeks to achieve competitive advantage. Competitive advantage means a unique advantage, through the strategic deployment. It means simply the proper distribution of the work, the tasks of a highly committed and capable workforce using an integrated array, the orderly arrangement of the things, along with culture, structure, and personnel technique. After that, we have another definition of human resource management: a series of activities which first enables working people and their employing organizations to agree about the objectives and nature of their working relationships, and secondly ensures that the agreement is fulfilled. The third definition, it is a function performed in organizations that facilitate the most effective use of people to achieve organizational and individual goals. The summary of all the definition is that human resource management is simply the process of acquiring, getting, training, learning, appraising, evaluating, and compensating, pay employees, and give their attention to their labor relations, health and safety and fairness issues. Simply stated, these definitions are termed as that human resource management is the management of people working in an organization. It is a subject related to human. For more simplicity, we can say that it is the management of humans or people. HRM is a managerial function that tries to match an organization's need to the skills and abilities of its employees. Human resource management is responsible for how people are managed in the organizations. It is responsible for bringing people into the organizations, helping them perform their work, compensating them for their work, and solving problems that arises. The term human resource management is actually a combination of two terms, human resource and management. Human resource is the human component of an organization. Vital resources generally regarded as personnel or employees, while the management is a process of achieving an organization's goals in an effective and efficient manner. Now let's move to the next slide, that is a historical background. Here in this historical background of human resource management, we are basically linking this slide with the personnel management. Or that, in simply stated, I can say that personnel management is the initial name of human resource management. Before 1960s, the staffing function was commonly known as personnel department, and personnel department had a limited role in the organizational planning and performed few functions such as planning picnics, schedule vacations, organizing retirement parties, and healthcare issues. While HRM concept emerged during the 1970s, it won final acceptance when ASPA, American Society for Personnel Administration, voted to change its name to the SHRM. SHRM stands for Society for Human Resource Management. The name change was more than a simple change of a name. Personnel concepts symbolize a liability on the organization, whereas the human resource management, HRM, concept recognizes that employees are the most important asset of an organization. Now, in the next slide, we are going to discuss the value of human resource management. It simply says the importance of human resource management, that how human resource management is important. Human resource management, or HRM, plays important role in creating organization and helping them survive. Our world is an organizational world. We are surrounded by organizations and we participate in them as members, employees, customers, and the clients. Most of our life is spent in organization, and they supply the goods and services on which we depend to live. Organizations, on the other hand, depend on people, and without people they would disappear. Now we are going to discuss those factors contributing to the growing importance of human resource management. The first factor, that is accommodating workers' needs. Workers are demanding that organizations accommodate their personal needs by instituting such programs as flexible work schedules, like parental leave, like children care and elder care assistance, and job sharing as well. The human resource department plays a central role in establishing and implementing policies designed to reduce the friction between the organizational demand and family responses. The next factor, that is increased complexity for the manager's job. What does it mean? Simply stated, that management has become an increasingly complex and demanding job for many reasons, including foreign competitions like new technologies, expanding scientific information, and rapid changes as well. Therefore, organizations frequently ask human resource management department for assistance in making strategic business decisions and in matching the distinctive competencies of the firm's human resources to the mission of the organization. Executives need assistance from the human resource department in matters of recruitment, performances, evaluations, compensations, and disciplines. The next point, that is rules and legislations. Rules and legislations having also impact over the importance of human resource management, because these state laws has contributed a very vital role to the proliferation and importance of human resources functions. The record keeping and reporting requirements of the laws are so extensive that to comply with them, many human resource departments must work countless hours and often must hire additional staff. 4 areas that have been influenced most by the legislation include equal employment opportunities, compensation, safety area, and labor relations. The next point, that is consistency. Human resource policies help to maintain consistency and equity within an organization. Consistency is particularly important in compensation and promotion decisions. When managers make compensation decisions without consulting the human resource department, definitely the salary structure tends to become very uneven and unfair promotional decisions. And these decision needs also may be handled unfairly when the HR department doesn't coordinate the decisions of the individual manager. After that, we have the last important point, that is expertise. Nowadays, there exists sophisticated personnel activities that require special expertise or expertise. For example, researchers have developed complex procedures for making employee selection decisions, statistical formulas that combine interviews, test scores, and application blanks information, etc., have replaced the subjective interviews traditionally used in making selection decisions. Similarly, many organizations have developed compensation systems with elaborate benefits packages to replace simply hourly pay or piece rate incentive systems, etc. Now we are moving to the next slide, and here we are going to explain that why we are concerned with the human resource management. There are so many points, there are so many aspects. Three of the points I'm going to explain. Point number one, that human resource management help you to get results from others. What does it mean? It simply states that different managerial techniques help managers to direct the performances of employees in a desirable direction in order to achieve the organizational objectives. Through the effort of the others working in an organization, managers get things done that require effective human resource management. The next point, help you to avoid common mistakes. Qualified human resource manager utilizes organizational resources in such a way that helps to avoid common personnel mistakes. Mistakes can be hiring the wrong person for the job, experiencing the high turnover, finding employees not doing their best, and having the company taken to court because of the discriminatory practices. The third point, the last point, that help you to get competitive advantage. Organization is totally dependent on the people. It is the people, not the buildings, that makes a company successful. Somebody asked Bill Gates, what made your company successful? He replied, the inventory, the value of my company walks out of my office gate every evening. So therefore, human resources, people are basically responsible for change and innovation. So therefore, people can do competitive advantage for the organizations. Now we are moving toward the next slide, that is the challenges to human resource management. What are the different issues faced by the human resource management? Few of the issues I have mentioned here. The first one is to attract the people. It simply states that people will be interested to join any organization if the organization is providing them the quality working environment, attractive benefits and opportunities to excel in future. Keeping in view the opportunities in the market, the first issue will be to attract good people for your organization. The second important point, that is to develop the people. Now here, development is simply related to provide the opportunities for training and development to the match the skills to the job in their particular areas. Now it requires careful need assessment for training and selecting effective training methods and techniques. After attracting or selecting, continuous development of workforce for the organization leads towards development of the organization so that they will start playing their important values or roles in the organization. The third point and the last point, that is to motivate the people and to retain the people. Motivation simply means to influence the performances of the people and to redirect the efforts in desirable direction by different motivational tools that can help in fulfilling the mission of the organization. The third very important concern will be to keep your workforce motivated so that they should be kept on delivering effectively. The last one is to retain the people. It simply stated that human resource management having some strategies that how to retain, sustain the people inside the organization for the long time period. Organization should develop some strategies that they can hold the people for the long time period in the organization. Now we are going to the next slide, that is the functions of human resource management. Functions simply stated the different activities performed by the human resource management. There are a variety of activities performed by the human resource management. A few of the activities we are going to discuss here. The first activity, that is simply known as staffing function. What is staffing function? Staffing function is simply known as your employment function. Employment function is simply stated that activities in human resource management concern with sourcing and hiring qualified employees. Staffing function contains three major sub-activities. It includes HR, employment planning, recruitment and selection. Then we will move toward the next point, that is job analysis function. Job analysis function is simply a systematic exploration of activities within a job. This process contains some further steps, sub-processes. Major activities include like job description, job specification and job evaluation. The third, performance evaluation function. After the human resources are hired by the organization, their performances is basically evaluated by their respective departments, heads or departments or supervisors, to glance how the employees had been doing clear at his best. HR department assumes responsibility for developing effective performances, appraisal forms and assessment procedures, and for ensuring uniform performance evaluation system. They basically make some standards. Upon those standards, the actual performances of the employees are to be held or compared, and then after that results are to be mentioned. The next, that is compensation and benefit function. Once performances appraisals are carried out, now the line manager decided on whether to reward the employee for good performances or to sometimes punish for consistently bad performances. The reward could come in different shapes. It can be enhancements in the salary, or it can be bonuses. Typically, line managers are responsible for recommending wage increases, and the HR department is responsible for developing and maintaining the wage structure. The next is training and development function. Now the human resource department is frequently involved in new employee orientation session, the training session, the supervisory skills training, the various management development activities training. HR department may also be involved in assessing training needs of the organization and evaluating the effectiveness of the training programs. The next is safety and health issues of HR. Now it is a major responsibility of the HR department or the HR management, human resource management, to provide safety training to its employees and to identify the correct unsafe conditions and to report accidents and injuries. The last but not the least, that is the human resources employment relation function. What is basically employment relation function? Employment relation functions is basically term toward the unionization or union organization. In ununion organizations, the HR department takes an active role in negotiating and administrating the labor issues or agreements. Labor unions are basically founded in organizations to assist workers in dealing with management of an organization. The unions can be on behalf of its members to secure their wages and the terms of conditions of employment. Now, in this regard, the HR department represents the management side of the organization in dealing with demands of the unions. This was the end of the lecture number 1, where we covered what is human resource management, the importance of human resource management, and the idea about the human resource management. Any of the student having any question, you may put forward your question. Later on, inshallah, I will definitely make the lectures in Pashto as well, because most of the students, they are not able to pick totally in English. No bia bin talla de koshish koma che tasula warsara lag touch de pukhto kim dar kama tasula se confusion no mehrabani ukai che kam book ma mention kare de further guidelines de para book taso hatman follow kri. Thank you so much.